Okay, so if you've been listening to WSB, maybe driving to and from, you've heard advertisements from the Modern Ag Alliance that talks about how they're on the side of Georgia farmers to make sure that they can still produce crops for you, and they'll call out some scary things. They'll talk about the fact that without glyphosate, it's going to be 2 times more expensive to have food, that how much of the cotton crop depends on glyphosate, how much is saved by farmers. So you pick your side one way or the other, but I think you ought to know the truth. So years ago, farmers, when they row cropped corn, whatever it is, they used cultivators in between to plow back and forth, flipping the dirt. That killed the weeds that allowed your corn to grow. In recent years, companies like Monsanto using Roundup Ready corn, because glyphosate's essentially Roundup is just a version of it, they spray that on that corn and in between it, and that kills your weeds. That allows a farmer to not have to spend as much diesel fuel to plow up the rows and lower labor cost, and essentially just buy the chemicals from Monsanto, the glyphosate, to be able to spray across their Roundup Ready corn. And so that's all the corn that you're getting at the grocery store in a variety of different forms, whether it be baked foods or fresh corn, whatever. All that's being sprayed with glyphosate. Now, completely true. If you take glyphosate out of the system, it's going to cost you more. Flip side, if you don't spray chemicals all over your food, you've probably got a more healthy food. Something I think is unique with the Trump administration is they've reached out to Joel Salatin and Polyface Farms in Virginia. He's very much kind of a regenerative ag kind of guy, and he serves his local community. And when the USDA or local authorities have always tried to rate him and put him down, his numbers always come back far more safer than stuff grown on your larger row crop farms. Now, you make your choice. You can either have kind of locally sourced, more expensive food that has been grown either using kind of the old style techniques of tillage or the Polyface Farms approach, or you can get cheaper food that's been sprayed with chemicals. Just a choice you need to make, but I just was thinking about that when I was listening and heard this advertised on the radio as I was driving. Modern Ag Alliance, know that, yeah, they support the big farmers are in with it because that's how they make their money. And we won't even get into government subsidies and all that sort of stuff. But I'm just getting you to think here, when you go and purchase food, it's cheaper because they're able to use chemicals to do weed control and things like that. So just be aware when you hear those advertisements that you've got a choice as a consumer. You can either pay a little bit more, get a different quality product, or you can pay a little less and have something that has been genetically modified and is sprayed with Roundup. So there's your choices, and hope you have a good evening.